Hey, welcome to another, I think they call it vlog, the video vlog. That kind of rhymed. I did not even mean it. Does anybody want a peanut? If you've never seen The Princess Bride, you need to watch it and then you'll understand that joke. So, anywho, this channel I have renamed a couple times. It is now the Scandalous Church. Yes, we're all scandalous Christians. I have a Facebook page called Scandalous Church. Also, the Gary Just Pizza Show. I tried to change the name, but anyway, two pages, kind of the same person. I have a podcast under Scandalous Church, which hopefully will be done at least a couple times a week, with videos on YouTube as much as I'm able to, but not overwhelm and flood the YouTube channel. Before I start, please follow my YouTube channel, like us on Facebook and other places where you can find me. You can find the podcast pretty much everywhere where podcasts are being streamed. So anyway, what in the heck is a scandalous church? Well, I did yesterday I did very little, but some research about the group called the Duns, people that are done with church, and it's millions and millions and millions of people. It's over 20 million or more, even more than that. People who are done with church, done with the organized church, because we've made it something that I don't know if was ever supposed to be. You have the Duns, the people that are just frustrated and done with church. Maybe they're like me, they're tired of playing church. We play church very well. We get into our religious activities. We get into, you have to say a certain prayer. I've been in churches where if you don't say the Lord's Prayer every Sunday, you are in trouble. If you don't do communion the way that they've always done communion and said the right words, or done worship the same way you've always done it. And so getting out of the box, being in the box of what we've made church to be, it's time for us, and I understand and I see that many people are desiring to be in a church community, a faith community that's just tired of being done, tired of being in a church that's just stuck doing the same old. In today's world right now, every church almost is doing live streams. I've been doing live streams at the church I was at for a while now. And then all of a sudden this happens. Everybody has a live stream. Everybody has videos. Everybody's doing podcasts. Everybody is doing these things, which is not a new concept, but all of a sudden people realize the need for these things, especially since we're stuck at home. And so since we're stuck at home, this is at least my new normal of a scandalous church. We'll meet online. You can comment things. You can ask questions. We can share our frustrations. A lot of us, including myself, have been hurt by the church. Even pastors get hurt by the church. We have been spiritually abused. Spiritual abuse is a common thing in churches all over the world, all over the country. And maybe you're just tired of the old, same old. So while we're still under the quarantine orders, we're all under, and we're not able to go to a physical church. And I encourage people to go to church. Go to a physical church. But maybe it's time that maybe we all come together and make a church that's not perfect, because it won't be perfect, because I'll be a part of it, you'll be a part of it, we'll all be a part of it, but where we are just knuckleheads, scandalous Christians for Jesus, where all of us realize we're sinners. And so hopefully this can be a safe place for you to comment, a safe place for you to tell your story of maybe your hurts, habits, or hang-ups, or whatever your story is. Being a scandalous Christian. being someone that is going against the faith current. And a lot of people are leaving churches by droves. And why is that? Is it because people are losing their faith? Some of it is. A lot of it is people are still believers in Jesus Christ. They're just tired of the same old, same old. So let's try to get out of the box and just be who we are in Christ. Accept each other who we are in Christ. As you look at the book of Acts, you didn't see them meeting in buildings. You didn't see them meeting in temples. You saw them meeting in homes. They met undercover because they're being persecuted. When you think of scandalous Christians, it's easy to see how many of these men and women who had faith who were, in our opinion, scandalous. You look at Stephen in the book of Acts. He was being stoned because of his faith in Christ. But right before they stoned him to death, he shared the gospel of Jesus Christ. He told them of their wickedness. He did not hold back. Talk about a scandalous Christian. They killed him as he was saying, "See, I see the heavens opening up. They're welcoming me." And they stoned him. Paul, there was an instance where Paul was being persecuted and given a hard time. And he stopped what he was doing. He turned around towards the crowd that was trying to kill him. And he shared the gospel to him. Paul was a man that was scandalous. He did whatever he could for Jesus, for Jesus Christ. Then you look at Jesus himself. Talk about in that time having dinner, hanging out with tax collectors and sinners and prostitutes and drunks. What a terrible thing it was. The religious leaders could not believe that he would do that. And if you look at today, how many similarities do we see that in today's world? The church can't believe that we would do this or that we would do that, or that we would hang out with certain people. We don't want those kind of people in our churches. I know churches that they reach out to certain people, certain age groups, certain economic. That's their reach, that's their purpose. A church is supposed to be for all people. Black, white, whatever, gay, straight, poor, rich, all this stuff, it's a scandalous thing in this world because Jesus was a scandalous guy, a scandalous God. He would go before the Pharisees and Sadducees and call them the brood of vipers. He would say, "You are whitewashed tombs." He said, "Your cup is clean on the outside, but in the inside, your cup is dirty." He was telling the elders, the leaders of that day, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the spiritual leaders, he was telling them hard truths. Many times we think of Jesus as just this meek and mild guy. But this is the same guy that walked into the temple with a whip. He turned tables upside down. And talk about a scandalous attitude, a scandalous faith, a scandalous belief. And as you look at Hebrews chapter 11 and you go through the hall of faith, you see scandal after scandal after scandal. God told Noah, "Hey Noah, you need to build a huge boat. You need to build this huge ark." We think maybe it hadn't even rained to that point, or there was hardly any rain, at least. And so he started building this boat, and people were probably teasing him and making fun of him and saying, "What are you doing?" He had that faith. He had that scandalous faith, that scandalous belief that if he built this boat, that God was going to do what he said he was going to do. He built this big boat, and what happened? Well, there was a flood, a huge flood, and it destroyed everything. And one of my favorite stories in Genesis is when Abraham is there and God meets Abraham, and God says, "Should I keep from you what I'm about to do?" And Abraham said, "No, what's going on?" He said, "I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah." And Abraham started out, can't remember specifically, but he started out, "Hey, would you destroy the whole earth for the whole city, all these cities, both cities for 50 people? And God said, "Okay, I won't." And he keeps on going down. He keeps on going down and going down. He's like, "God, I don't mean, please don't be mad. Please, please, whatever you do, don't kill me over this." But, what about if there's 25 godly people? What if there's 20 godly people? And, don't be offended. And he had this conversation. He had this scandalous grace so much that he knew that God was a God of love, mercy, and grace. So scandalous Christianity is found all throughout the Bible, being out of the box. And we somehow have fallen into a religiousity. We've made Christianity into something that it was never meant to be. It was never meant for us to have these huge buildings that are thousands and millions of dollars. We are supposed to be the hands and feet of Jesus, and we need to still be who we are. So Scandalous Christian, the whole Scandalous Church, the whole idea is to make a place, an online community where we can share each other's sorrows and strength and frustrations, and build each other up the way that the Bible tells us and teaches us. Last time I talked about Ephesians 4, putting up with each other, loving each other despite of our wickedness and ugliness, which we all have. So if you're tired of playing church, if you're one of the duns, if you're just done just acting like everything is okay and the way of doing things is normal and we just need to go along to get along, that's not true. Having a passionate love for Christ is going to look scandalous. So anyway, there's my 2 cents worth on this Sunday morning. I know you have many opportunities, especially today with all the thousands of church services that are online today. So thank you if you watched. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Be nice to yourself and do something nice for somebody else.